I only needed 3 of those, so that one that's good. Energy retrieval. Okay. How many of these do I need? Energy retrieval is 3. I have 3. Okay. That's good. Super energy removal. I need 2.
I'm pretty sure she has some shadowless Charizards too.
Oh jeez.
I remember looking once and seeing some. So they're mine actually. Anyway, anything in the hers is mine. So.
There you
go. We don't have things that are just.
No,
ours.
We share.
Everything is ours.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't. I mean, if you can't get to that point,
then the relationship is pointless.
Unless
it's just a business arrangement.
Unless say you're in your 60s and you have to separate your. You've already had a life, each of you. I could see like if you're getting married in your later life, having separation because you might need to keep it heritage for the kids or whatever. I could see that more, but I bet people are.
I've never been that way with any of my girlfriends or wives. Like,
right.
Like everything that's mine is theirs, and usually it's the same way back. But
yeah. Do I have any?
Like we don't have separate bank accounts or anything either.
Sure.
It's all together.
Lightning and fighting. Need 4 doubles, 6 doubles total. And oh, it's all water energy? I don't need psychic. Okay. Interesting. Cheap. Just use those as basic fighting energies. Oh, I need those. Well, no, I have those for the next step. I'm getting there. I got the base. Like, actually, that is Haymaker in the basic of it. And now I just need the energies, which is the easier part. I should have brought a stack of energies so that I could have built them again. That's the do I have water magic? I guess I could use like any.
When you work in the division where you're covered. Okay. I work in the division where blue covered. He works in white covered. You're caught. You cover all white place. Because all the secrets, and all the knowledge. You only know certain knowledge.
That's what I was gonna say. The secrets, right?
Yep. And that's why they're number 1. They just are.
So this is what we call
I'm gonna need to have some water on hand, I think, if I'm gonna do this podcast.
Because they know how to do it.
Water on hand?
Yeah, I just noticed like I've already got
Coffee machine.
You ever collect as a kid?
Yeah, I got a couple cards lying around.
Well, if you ever want them praise, bring them by.
Yeah?
Yeah. Cool. Let you know what they're worth, and I might make an offer on them. If they,
Yeah? I got a couple stacks, you'll bring more.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
But because they're 2 years old, when I had my runner, my computer was but it didn't matter to me. It did what I wanted.
Well, these ones that are a year and a half, 2 years old, right now they're producing ones that are, like this is still flagship for a lot of the agriculture.
What am I actually looking for? I'm looking for 7 light green or 9. I have a double.
Whichever one you have more of the same energy.
I just have a flat. I mean, energies are. It's not like they're sought after. I don't care. I've got a billion of them. I think this will actually. I just need the mass. I think that'll actually. I think you can use. Very energies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. 19. So I got two colors. Energies. Very psychic.
There's no free money.
Okay. That is a complete Waymaker deck. Now it just needs to be sleeved. Process. I've never actually built a deck of Pokemon cards. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I've never actually.
I never done it. I've never played it like that. It's only to be collected. That's it.
Right.
For me.
Well, you kind of did really good as a collector. I think people,
Used to buy packs like every week.
right, with your own money.
Yeah. Well, and my mom would buy tons too for herself.
Oh yeah, she collected.
Yeah.
That's fun. I love it when parents get like into.
I buy like a pack every week. I think at least pack every week for a while. Then I stopped. I stopped after the 150. I didn't care about the next gens. I got some, but not much.
No, you know what? They didn't. For whatever reason, it wasn't as exciting, and I think most of us were playing the game more and didn't care about the cards. Like it wasn't like.
I was
by
playing
that
the
time
Game
it
Boy
probably-
games and stuff.
Yeah, by that time it was banned in school, and nobody really.
Yeah. That's what screwed it up.
Yeah.
Them banning it in school.
Right. Once it was banned.
That was
it
bullshit.
like-
That made me mad.
I actually think that like you gotta listen to kids, and what they should have done is hired a teacher's assistant to oversee a lot of the training.
Yeah, the trading
You
was
know,
the problem.
The trading is always the problem, and the problem is like you can't. But again, it teaches kids about the black market.
Yeah.
Like I don't see
Like,
why that's a bad.
Learning is learning. You know, it
So
doesn't
if
make
you-
sense. They don't want people to learn though. Like I swear, school's not for learning now.
No, it's for.
It's just for
teaching-
babysitting.
No, it's for teaching you how to punch in and punch out.
Yeah, punch in
It
and
is.
punch out. That's it.
Well,
Yeah,
it was
it's to get you.
designed
Yeah,
that way,
it's
right? Public school
yeah,
was
it's to get you
designed
ready for
factory.
slavery.
There's really interesting stuff on the structure of like contemporary public school.
Yeah.
Is basically just a factory. You're a factory worker, right? You're like, even the grades don't really matter.
No.
The teachers don't care. They care more that you show up.
Yeah.
Your attendance, like if school was real, I don't think attendance would be important.
No.
Right?
No.
Because
Your grades
why
would be important.
Why would
How come showing
attendance
up
be
matters?
important? Why does it matter? If you don't care to be there and learn, then don't come.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we don't want you to learn.
Yeah.
Then, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
go get a job.
Yeah.
They should. You know what? I'd be more up for them having actual money-making jobs at the school, where the kids could, go be like, you know what? English. I'm not gonna read books. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go next
French.
door and I'm gonna work my butt off, and I'm gonna make $50 so I can go and buy myself Pokemon cards.
Yeah, whatever. Learn. That would be more productive, honestly.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you don't even retain 99. Like it's proven fact. You don't remember 90-something% of the stuff that you learn in school.
That's like reading and regurgitation is like the lowest form of learning. Like the best one you can do is actually teaching somebody something you just learned. So if you say
You only
if
remember things
taught
you are
me-
applying into your actual everyday life. Everything else is forgotten.
If you taught me, say, something about a product that you're selling, and then I had to immediately teach someone else about it, they
Yeah.
said that transfer is really high. Like
Yeah,
it's in
that's
the
trans-
upper
but they don't do that.
70s. No.
They don't do that. They don't care if you retain anything. It's not about retaining. It's as you said, it's the attendance. It's so that
And
you're
it's-
ready for a
and
job later
it's-
on.
It's also the timing, right? Like, think about it this way. I work right now. I'm working 7 until 3.
Yeah,
Okay, I have a coffee break at 15 minutes at 10 o'clock,
yeah,
and a
yeah,
coffee break at 1 o'clock.
yeah.
What does that sound like?
It's cool.
Huh? I wonder.
Yeah.
It's because, but if you're a smart businessman, wouldn't you want to? If you're trying to grow a company exponentially, you'd eventually have to think about the herd and how to, I guess, harness that herd into a direction that would make it scalable for the business.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a system, it's a platform.
Yeah.
Right. So like you got to think your educated people are they do this function. Right. So if you're buying into a system, that's what has happened. Is it's good for the worker and it's good for the employer because the employer has this platform.
But it's
and
not good for business.
Sure, I agree.
They want you. They don't, that's not
No,
what it's
there's
about.
a lot of. It's not as. It's dehumanizing, is what it is.
Yeah.
I.
You see my guy?
It's one of the biggest stupid things that we do,
Yeah.
that we fall for.
Right.
But it's needed. You need, because of the way the
Well,
system
see,
is
that's how
run,
messed
you
up-
need to
yeah,
send
right.
your kids to school so you have time to actually get things done while they're at school. So they got it down. They know the system. They set
Right.
it up perfectly for them.
Right. Well, it's like most contagious systems are very. They're contagious.
You
for
also
a
don't have
reason.
time to fight the government on anything because you're busy working
Right.
specific hours. Because every single day you're lucky to get one day off.
Well,
and you
that's-
need to work a double job, a second job, because the one job's not enough.
That's why I do things like this, and I tell a lot of people, if you're going to be creative, you have to schedule creative time. Otherwise, and it can't be after work. Because that's one of the biggest mistakes people make is like, they say
work, but you
retention,
don't want to.
retention of night school is terrible. And also they said that the amount of people that actually succeed at night school, like say it leads them into a better position at work or maybe into their own business, is super low.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're not, it's not the right form.
Yeah.
Right? And you think about, show me some people who really succeeded at night school, and let's take an honest look at what they're doing through the day. Maybe they're doing nothing at a retail job, and they're largely reading anyways, and they could study at work, right? So are they really doing night school, or they just have kind of worked themselves in a position where they happen to be making money sitting on their ass somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So that's what a finished Pokemon deck looks like. That's the 60
How many cards? 60?
60 cards. 60 cards. And so
And energy.
so the fairy energies are fighting energies, and the psychic energies are electric energies. Because I'll change it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I've got a few. I actually really don't need much to finish that deck. It's a cheap deck to build, but that is the ipso facto best deck in Pokemon at this time. So when you were doing vintage Pokemon, this was the deck to beat. Is Electabuzz Haymaker. It's called Haymaker. So basically you just throw your Hitmonchans out and you bash
Where'd they
face.
come up with this name?
It's just I think it's because of Hitmonchan swinging. Right? It's like it's just about jab, 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 jab. It's just throw punches, right? So
It's more. There's hardly any actual Pokemon cards.
yeah, there's only 7, 10, 12 Pokemon in that deck.
Really?
Yeah, there's 12 Pokemon.
12 cards or 12 different
12,
Pokemon?
No, 12 Pokemon cards.
Wow.
There's
I didn't know it was that
4
much.
Hitmonchan, 3 Electabuzz, 2 Farfetch, 1 Doduo, 1 Diglett, 1 Chansey. But you have to understand that Bill, trainer, draws 2 cards. Okay?
Yeah.
And Professor Oak discards your hand and you draw 7 cards. So your ability to filter the deck is extremely fast.
That's what you need, yeah.
Right?
If you only have that many Pokemon cards, you need energies and all that.
You're basically filtering the deck super fast, and you just want to get a Hitmonchan with 3 energy up, and which is super easy to do because say if you have the Hitmonchan, where is it? See again. So there's the Hitmonchan, and then you throw. This is 1 fighting, 2 fighting, and 3 fighting, and now you're fully loaded, and you're doing 40 damage every turn to the enemy. And when most of the Pokemon have like Chansey's the highest body, and it's 120, so that's 3 turns to kill the biggest Pokemon.
Yeah.
Most Pokemon have around 70, so Hitmonchan would boom boom knockout, boom boom knockout, boom boom knockout, and then you're using Scoop Up to return it to your hand. So say I get your Pokemon, I swing, hit you out, then I'm going to scoop up my Hitmonchan. Those are going to get discarded, and then I'm going to reattach them so that I have a fresh body. Say I took damage, I would scoop it up, save the Pokemon, and replay the cards. So
when you scoop it up, it
goes back to your hand,
and no
loses
damage
your
anymore.
energy, and when it comes back on the field, it's a fresh
Full health.
body.
Ah.
Right? So once it goes to the hand, it's considered to be a different Pokemon, right? So
That's
it
not how the
basically
games
goes
work.
to which-
You return return your Pokemon, it's still dead.
But see, in Pokemon, the game, you have a bench. So you actually have a 1 active Pokemon, and you have 5 bench Pokemon slots. And then you can switch between them on your turn. Yeah.
What are the Pokemon here, Robbie?
Yeah, I got a lot. So all the
Holy
so
cow, buddy.
what I've got is these are
Oh
$2 each, 3 for $5 for the pack. So you get 2 rares, and so that's 6 rares, and you get 10 other Pokemon in between. For 36 cards for $5. Yeah, and then I've got all the high-end stuff. You gotta ask for the pricing on this. They range between $5 and $60. And then I've got the team up. I'm out of Unified Minds, but team up packs for $5 each. That's the new version. Yeah, I get the high. How do you play it? That's funny you ask because I literally just built one of the original decks. So this is called Haymaker, and it was the first competitive deck to win the World Championship. So this deck here is the deck list that won.
How much was that worth?
It's actually a very cheap deck.
But how much was the World Championship worth?
The World Championship at that time actually received a trophy prize that then they could sell. And I think the trophy winner ended up selling it for 10 grand, 7 grand. But you got to think, 1997, you're playing a hobby game. That's pretty good. But now Pokemon actually is bringing in a lot of Magic card players, and some of the prizes are upwards of 30 grand if you win. Right? So some guys do make a really good buck, and people can make a living playing Pokemon. Yeah. No, if I dedicated full time and I didn't have a family, I could travel around, probably make airfare, and you'd scrape by. You'd eat.
How much are they?
$2 or 3 for $5.
I just got 3 raw. 2 more, buddy.
I don't know that.
Everybody's having the same problem. This guy might.
Break. What do you want to break?
Just 100.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe this guy should leave my phone down here.
Yeah, I probably could have.
How's that phone?
He's just checking to see if the other guys.
But we're down to 5.
This binder has some cool EX and GX. You can flip through it. So anybody who doesn't know, who might be tuning in for any reason, maybe the one person who ends up watching this and going through this disgusting piece of unfiltered content that's very original, I think he might be good.
$100. Oh, it's real.
He's got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
I'm a vendor at the Cloverdale Flea Market, and right now I'm helping a customer. All right.
Good boy. Let's do it, buddy.
Have fun.
Thanks.
Pokemon, we take out the energies and stuff.
Thanks, man.
But yeah, we're here every Sunday, same spot.
That's why I always bring like $200 worth of change for those people.
I rarely get, because most people.
People constantly try to break hundreds all day. So.
I know. I just typically don't, because I don't even. I don't know. I'm weird like that. I know most people are just going for $5 sales, and most people come here for like $5 things.
And then they bring 100.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's like, what are you doing?
That's why I always bring change.
Okay.
Couple
One
hundred
deck. One deck down. Okay. Now I need four average. Okay. And two. Okay. There's two.
200. That's used to the
200,
number.
yeah.
Because
That is a really good.
I worked at a at U-Haul before as one of the
yeah.
people who sends out the vehicles,
Right.
whatever you call it, or dispatch or whatever.
Yeah.
And the number there was every till had 200 to start at the day, and that worked out. Nobody ever needed to deal with,
Right.
they didn't have the change.
Right.
So since that's where I got my number from, I just do 200.
Right. You just do.
Do 200, and it works.
It does work. It does work.
It almost never fails. I don't think it's ever failed. As long as I bring
Right.
200 change, I never have an issue. I always can break everybody's bills.
Yeah,
I don't have to
I
ask
get it.
anybody
Yeah.
for change. I don't have to do anything like that. It always works out.
I get it.
I just keep 200 change to the side, and I never spend it and leave it just ready for the market.
I'm happy with usually way less than that. Most days. And you know what? The thing is I like the market because you're not, there's the expectation that you can break it isn't there for sure. Like if you had a store front, there's absolutely zero excuse for not being able to break that money, but if I'm at a market stand, whatever. I don't are you really gonna try and
Could cost you a sale though.
yeah, it could, but
It's happened to me before in the beginning when I didn't do that.
right, but for me, I'm more or less just, I'm kind of the game. If you want to buy Pokemon cards, so you deal with me or you don't. So, and I'm not too concerned if people don't want to deal with me. I know that's kind of, oh shoot, I actually have an original, this is a reprint of forgot about that. That's good. Hoping for the same card.
I don't care.
What?
I'm not getting stupid fucking messages from. I used to work for a union called Unifor. Actually, it was called something else before. CAW, I think. They're terrible, and they're texting me like, "Hi, this is Maureen with Unifor. Tomorrow's election day. Polls are." I don't care.
Yeah.
Why are you texting me? I haven't done anything for that union, and I'm pretty sure you've got to pay union dues to stay in the union. So how am I still in this union? Why are they texting me?
Aren't they talking about election day? Tomorrow's the whatever big election.
Is that what they're talking about? Or are they talking about a union election?
Tomorrow's the election on the 21st. Right? It's the federal whatever.
Why would they text me?
Because
Will you vote? I should just say no.
They probably have a horse in the game.
I got better things to do than to vote for people that don't keep their promises. None of them will. So there's no, like, honestly, nobody should vote.
If you don't vote, don't complain, and that's about it. Like, I think voting only gives you the right to complain.
Yeah, it just gives you.
I can, but it doesn't mean that you can't complain about the system as a whole, because I do think the system
It's completely screwed.
is all messed up.
It's all messed up. The people, like, if you make promises, you should actually be held accountable. You should actually have to go to jail or something for it. I mean, that should be a crime.
I know, it's
It
ridiculous.
should actually be a crime, but it's not. It's okay.
You're all right.
It's okay. You
You-
made promises.
we'll
you
give
made
you a
promises
nice-
to the whole,
we'll
to the
give you a
whole
nice
like
pension.
country, but
You know what, that would
we'll
be
give you a
good
nice
one.
yeah.
Yeah, let's get rid of the pensions. If you don't make a promise.
Yeah, if you don't keep your promise, no
Yeah.
pension, nothing.
Yeah. Well, the problem is the system kind of allows for, like, say, imagine if you make a promise and then you can't get it passed through the House, or like you literally can't do it.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Don't make that promise. Make sure you can make good on your promise before you make the promise.
That would be funny.
Too bad.
That would be funny. An economic, like a bonus. Imagine if.
Or you take like a 60% cut.
Imagine
You know,
if
like
you-
whatever
imagine
it
if
would have
you-
been, it's cut by at least 60%. For every promise you fail on, it's a certain percentage you lose. Hey, make it fair. If they did that, these guys would be keeping their promises. They'd be like, oh shit, I'm not gonna get any money after this.
Well, imagine if.
But they don't want it like that.
Yeah. You ever collect? No. I'm just. It's all Pokemon and Magic cards. I'm building decks right now. If
She doesn't care. She walked away.
If I know sometimes you just it's like I asked if you didn't collect as a kid or you're not collecting now, whatever. But imagine if you went to like a client and you're like, yeah, I'll do those stairs for you. I'll build those stairs. Then you just never do it, like, and you expect to get
And you get paid still, and it's still expect. Hey, come on, how come it happens for them?
Right.
It doesn't make sense. That's why I don't vote. There's no point. I don't vote. I don't care. Do whatever the hell you're gonna do, because nothing I do is gonna make
Yeah,
the slightest
I'll
bit of difference.
study the system, but it's not like one vote. It's like, see, everybody's like, oh, but your vote matters and you count. It's like it's
But it's
kind of like
none of those. Nothing that they say is gonna happen.
yeah.
So, who cares? The only things that are gonna happen, more taxes.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can be sure of. More taxes, no matter what you do.
Unless you make enough money that you
Can get away from taxes.
right?
Yeah, it's
you
not
can
gonna.
afford.
Where it should be the opposite, where the more money you should get taxed, it's the less money, the more you get taxed.
Right, because you can't defend yourself.
You can't defend yourself. You're not in
Quit
business.
hitting yourself.
When you
Quit
work for
hitting
somebody, you're a bitch. When you're business, you're not. Then you.
Well, actually, you know, that's funny. Like, a lot of my stuff is registered under my corporation because I get better deals. It's like, oh, okay. Like, of course, it's like, okay. They'll
And tax
people
breaks
look at
and
you
everything.
different. People look at you different.
Morning.
Right. No, it's really crazy.
Our whole system's fucked.
Oh yeah.
It's corrupt. It's because the money, the people who have money make all the rules.
Right.
They're not going to make rules that screw them. They're going to make the rules that screw you. They're slaves. The people
What is
who,
it?
who
History is written by winners.
yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty simple. This one only uses one
Only the
type of
strongest
energy,
survive,
so
you know, the
everything
fit-
is the same.
Yeah.
One,
Survival of the fittest.
yeah.
Same way with eating food. You know, we got to eat everything. You don't omit like all meat because
Yeah.
or whatever.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. It's backwards.
It's frustrating. Is what it is.
If we're gonna let all the people who have money control everything, then we also need to control the fact that we're at the top of the food chain, and we need to eat all the food. Everything is food.
Well, that's one thing I really found out very quickly having my own business is that there's such a thing as predatory business, right? It is a thing, and I think a lot of people are aware of it. But when you start to have your own company, you start to do business with other businesses, you start to see what that means. And really what that means is some guys are good enough at business that they know how to leverage their opponents into, let's say, subpar positions. So they know that you can't pay out this much money and you can't afford a lawyer, so I'm going to just not pay you. And these sorts of predatory practices exist and they're real because people know they can get away with it. And it's a very vicious kind of feedback situation. But I mean, hey, I bet you a lot more people would take advantage of it if they could. You tell me the guy winning at Monopoly, if he had to give up his position to the guy to his right, the guy to his right wouldn't act exactly the same as him, right? It's very funny when you see, like, everybody goes, yeah, well, yeah, okay, put yourself in that position then. Okay, now you're making, okay, Schmo, you were at $30,000 a year. Now let's put you at $200,000 a year. Are you gonna think the same? I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah.
It's just, people are funny, individuals are fantastic. I like individuals, I don't like people.
Yeah.
You know? You'd be surprised, that's like the demographic that has the most Pokemon cards. Right there. They got all the original stuff. Everybody, it's crazy, man, but like there's a lot of people out there that just you never expect, and then they'll come and I got a bunch of those. They're very general in scope. There. This is actually really fun. There's forgot I have a bunch of these reprints. Now is it exactly the same? See, there's the 20-year reprint.
Yeah.
Yep.
The one on the left?
So, one on the left is the 20-year
Yeah.
reprint. Yeah. No, it's the same card. I have actually a full set of that one, so the set. Let's see if I can put that together. So now I have. Okay. I need one more camera. So this deck is Chansey, Gyarados, and Alakazam is the centerpiece. I think Abra literally just for the evolution.